Well, I'm going to tell you the story of Michael and the oranges. This is a sad story, but it's the kind of story that hopefully will inspire you to go out there and make this a better world through behavior analysis. Because you're going to be trained and you're going to know some things and be aware of some things that you think might be common sense to people. I used to think they were common sense, but you know, common sense is not so common. And I used to be very surprised by stories like this one when I ran into situations like this. And after working 36 years in the field or more, 37, time passes quickly when you're having fun, I have stopped being surprised. I have never stopped being saddened by it. I am still emotionally affected by it, and it makes me upset and I cry. But I'm no longer amazed or surprised that there's so much stupidity in the world out there. And I'm not talking about the people that we work with developmental disabilities. I'm talking about the people who work with them. So here's the story of Michael and the oranges. Michael was about to turn 22, and he was going to graduate with a special diploma from the special school he attended. Michael was severely or profoundly mentally handicapped. He was in a profoundly mentally handicapped classroom in a special center school for people who were profoundly mentally handicapped. Now, this was 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. But I have been in classrooms like this more recently, and I still see the same thing happening that I saw 15, 20 years ago. So it's not like, hey, that was so long ago, that's why you saw what you saw. But now maybe more people are in regular schools or mainstreamed even and so forth. But stuff like what I saw happening still happens. And here's what happened. Well, Michael's mother called me because she was concerned that Michael was graduating from high school and that Michael had not learned a whole lot in all his 20 or so years of schooling. And that she didn't see that he was ready to go out and join the workforce. And she wondered what Michael was going to do during the day after he graduated from high school. And she knew that if Michael was going to do anything, he probably needed to learn some things. And it is sad and unfortunate that she waited till he was almost 22 to call somebody like me to come help. But this mom didn't know any better. She didn't know about ABA. She didn't know about behavior analysis. And it wasn't until Michael was about to graduate that she started thinking about, well, what's going to happen to Michael after he graduates? What are we going to do with him during the day? Because I work and I can't afford a child care, and he's not a child anymore. What are we going to do with him during the day? And that's the main reason she called me, not any other reason. Although she did say that, he also tantrums quite a bit, and maybe we could get help with his tantrums as well. But she said, and she was a pretty smart lady, she says, I know Michael tantrums when he wants something, and he can't tell me what he wants. And it's like I have to keep trying to give him different things until I find what he wants. And when I find what he finally wants, then he stops tantruming, and then I know, that's what Michael wants. So she was smart enough to figure that out. And she says, I always wanted Michael to learn to talk, but they told me he couldn't learn to talk. Then I found out that maybe Michael could learn to sign, and they said he couldn't learn to sign. Then I found out, oh, maybe Michael can learn to ask for things in other ways. There's other ways to get him to ask for things. And they've been working with him in school for 20 years, and he still hasn't learned to ask for a single thing. And I know that he gets frustrated because he's asking for something by his tantrums, and I don't know what he's asking for. Very common kind of circumstance. Now, Michael I went to his school and I read his IEP, his individual education plan, and Michael had a goal in his IEP, and the goal was Michael will ask for orange independently on 8 out of 10 trials. And that was the IEP goal. And I looked to see the previous IEP, and it had the same goal, and at the end of the year, they said not met. And then I looked at the previous year, and I saw the same goal, and it said not met. And then the previous year, and I saw the same goal, and not met. And you get the idea. I went back through the years, and year after year, for the last umpteen years, he had the same IEP goal. Michael will learn to ask for orange independently, or Michael will ask for orange independently on 8 out of 10 trials. Now, the mother had said that Michael loved oranges, and that she was the one that insisted that they continue to try to teach him to ask for orange. Now, I talked to the teacher, and the teacher says, you know, the only reason we keep that IEP goal there is because the mom insists, and she will not sign the IEP unless we have that IEP goal in there. And of course, if it's in the IEP, we are going to continue to work with it. So I have been his teacher for the last 5 years, and I have worked on it every day for the last 5 years. And he still hasn't learned to ask for orange. And the teacher before me, she worked with him for years in the same, and she wasn't able to teach him. And before, when he was younger, he had speech and language pathologists working with him, and the speech and language pathologists were never able to teach him to ask for orange or for anything else. They were not able to teach him to label anything, or to talk, or to sign, or to communicate in any way. And all the reports say that Michael lacks the cognitive capacity to learn language. And I agree with those reports. They've been saying it for years. Michael lacks the cognitive capacity to learn language. But I will continue to try to teach him language, but he's never going to learn. Okay, teacher, Mrs. So-and-so, please show me how you're going about teaching Michael to ask for orange.